Hello, listeners. You're tuned in to Platzinum.com reality show, episode 2. This is Tom Platz with Dr. Cha.
Hello, everyone.
Our special guests today are, or I should say this evening, are Martin and Catherine Brothers from the UK. Welcome, Martin and Catherine.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hey, thank you very much for joining us this evening and for sending us your questions. Let's have some fun.
Our pleasure.
Okay.
All right, you sent some questions, so let's take a look.
What's your favorite color?
What's my favorite color?
Green.
This is for you, Tom.
Okay.
At what point in your bodybuilding career did you realize that you had the potential to become a pro bodybuilder? Huh?
When I was 9, I used to pose in the bathroom mirror, and I said, "Mom, do I look like these guys?" And she said, she goes, "Sure, you do. Sure, whatever. Sure, Tom, you look just like those guys."
And she's still lying lying to you all these years.
But I did feel I had the potential. I really did. But I guess in terms of more reality, since this is a reality show, just after I won the 1978 Mr. Universe, and I received this big trophy, and I realized, God, I can go to the Olympia now. I'm going to be eligible to stand next to Frank Zane, Robbie Robinson, all the guys at the Olympia next year. And I was like, the reality set in. This is really real, I think, unless I'm dreaming. Okay.
I'd like to ask the same question to Catherine. At one point in your bodybuilding career, did you realize that you had the potential to become a pro bodybuilder?
I don't know. I don't think I'm that good. Well, with NABA, the federation I compete with, you can't actually go pro. So unless I switch to the UK BFF, that's the only way I'd be able to, maybe go pro. But that's a whole different federation, so it's whether I'd be good enough for that federation.
I see. Martin, what about you? Are you going to go pro?
Not a chance for me, I'm afraid. But no, I just I love training in general. I just love to train. I like to be in shape. I like the way I look, and my whole thing really, it's not for me. It's I love to help my wife and help her because she's quite a bit younger than me. Not that you can tell that easy, but she's a bit younger than me, and I want her to achieve her goals because obviously, with me being that little bit older, I think I've got that bit more wisdom. So there's things I can offer her in terms of her training and what she's trying to achieve.
Yeah,
so
that's fantastic.
For me, it's a big thing for me to try and help her in order for her to achieve her goals, and she's got massive potential to do that. So she just has to believe in what I'm telling her and believe in herself in order to carry out the things we need to do to get to the level which I know she's more than capable of, which is world and universe level, which is, for me, it's not a problem.
Wow,
but she has to believe in it first to make it reality.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Wow, you're really supportive. Wow, fantastic, man. I just, it's nice to hear that, a husband is that supportive of his wife. And, I'm sure you probably put that first in your mind, and you probably even forget about things that are important to you sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. I wish I could be more like you.
Because he's not.
You know what it is?
He really isn't. He's like, honey, what's wrong with this computer? Honey, what's wrong with Skype?
You know what it is? I think I was the other day. I was in the gym and we were waiting for it to go open, this one gym, and this powerlifter was standing next to me. And he goes, Tom, I actually wanted to be a bodybuilder before I went into powerlifting. And he looks at me and he goes, but bodybuilding is such a selfish sport, And I said, you're right. It is. But it's all about you. What you're going to eat, how you feel, when you're going to sleep, when you're going to get up, when you're going to drive to the gym, what you're going to wear. And every day leading up to the show, you have to be thinking about you. And it's hard. And there's a reason I have ex-wives, okay? There's
got to be a level Martin probably can relate to this. There's got to be a level of respect and a total understanding of the beast.
Yeah.
If you don't understand the sport, then you're done. I mean, you're pretty much done if you're going to be with anyone that's in the sport seriously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a level of understanding, there's a level of care, and sometimes you have to go in the bathroom, close the door, and scream, which I do quite often, and because it is a selfish sport. It has to be, but sometimes you have to also know when to turn it off.
Well, yeah, that's hard to do for bodybuilders. But when I retired, one of the things I did say to myself is, everything, bodybuilding came first for, God, what is it? I don't know when I retired. I was 37 or something like that, 40. When I retired, I said everything else that came second and third now is going to come first, and bodybuilding is going to take a back seat. When you retire from bodybuilding, it's like all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, the grass is green. Oh my God, I have a wife. Oh my God, she has things important to her too. And I have to tell you, even though that worked for me, I was way off balance. And at this point in my life, I've been working on balance of everything ever since. Anyhow, that's the way I looked at it, and that's the way I traveled the road in pro bodybuilding. And I mean, it was good to a large degree.
Yeah, and those are all lies, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because pretty much lies. It hasn't changed that much. It's the nature of the beast, though. It's like I said, if you can't bend with the wind of bodybuilding, then you're going to get caught up in the tornado, and that's the choice you have to make. Nothing changes when you retire. And the character is still there, the personality is still there, the demands are the same, but you have to decide when to cap it, and you have to also grow a voice and say, listen, I understand what you're going through, I really do, trust me. However, you're being a little unfair, and every now and then those little few seconds that you gain audience as just being the sidekick to a bodybuilder, you make them think a little, and that's all you can do in the moment, because it is a lot of pressure.
Okay. I do think about what you would want. I do.
Yeah, he thinks about it, but he's usually in the car
by myself going to the gym.
He's in the car by himself going to the gym, or he's like in the bathroom, shaving, and he's thinking, and I'm not in the house anywhere. So basically, you have to understand the wind of bodybuilding. Okay. Let's see. If you hadn't taken the route of bodybuilding, Tom, did you have another career in mind?
Well, I was trained in college to be a teacher, but I really didn't want to be a teacher in a grade school or high school. I thought about teaching in college, but in fact, I almost was ready to go to a grade school and teach if I didn't win the 78 Universe. I had a teaching job that I was setting up for myself in a parochial or a Catholic school, and so. But other than that, I think I would have went into the military. I think the military. Everybody I talk, seriously, even though I hate structure.
Lies. These are all lies.
I know.
Why are you lying to the people?
Everybody I talk to in the military has a good life. They don't make up tons of money or become millionaires, but they have 3 or 4 master's degrees.
I can imagine what you would be like in boot camp. Oh my God!
As long as I could, be the guy, do the most squats. Okay.
Right.
It would have been hard for me to live with a structure. Yeah.
Hey, Martin.
Hello.
What do you do for a living? May we ask?
Of course. I work for the biggest bread company in this country, who's called Warburton's Bread, and it's a family-owned business by the Warburtons, Jonathan and his brother, and it's been going for 130 odd years, and they're situated all around the UK now. And,
what kind of company? I'm sorry, is it a bread company?
Yeah, they make bread for like supermarkets, your little shops.
Wow, for real.
And, I'm an HGV driver, a heavy goods vehicle driver for them.
Oh wow!
So I do bread all over the different areas I go to all over the country.
Holy smokes, this is unreal.
You mentioned Jonathan Walton.
Multi-millionaire, big time.
Really? Yeah, I know the I know the name.
Tom, Sylvester Stallone just did an advertisement with us before Christmas. It was. He came over and he did the advertisement with Jonathan Warburton. They were the two main characters, and it was all about delivering our bread. And he was dressed up as a Warburton's driver,
Really?
driving vehicles, and it showed him going into one of the shops delivering the bread to one of the ladies.
Really?
Oh my God!
Wow.
Well, this is unreal to finally know what you guys do. I find it extremely interesting.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
If you had another choice of a career, what would it have been?
I would have loved to have been a professional footballer. And for my hometown is Burnley. That's where I was born, Burnley in Lancashire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's my team. Now, I've always dreamt of playing for them as a striker. I was a good player, but never that good. I was going to be a pro. So I always wish God had blessed me with them sort of skills way back in the day, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially nowadays, look at the money they're earning.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Pretty cool.
wanted to be a soccer player. It was a big dream of mine, but I'm just never that good, really.
I'm really, really good friends with the Blacks, and they've always been my team. But you know, they're Maori, and I really have a lot of respect for the sport. Catherine, what is it that you do?
I work on a holiday park on reception.
A holiday park? And what kind of park is it? A holiday park?
It's where people come and stay for holidays. We have big lodges and holiday homes, and people come and stay in the summer and bring the children and things like that.
Huh.
They stay all summer at this holiday park?
Yeah.
Wow. The whole family?
Yeah. Everybody.
Oh, we need to come. We need a holiday.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. Your accent just sounds like music. It's beautiful, right, John? I like the accent. How come people that are from England never say that Americans have an accent?
I think you've got an accent.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. I wanted to hear an English person say that you have an accent. 'Cause I always say, hey, God, I love your accent. People from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
But they never say, hey, you have an accent, Tom. John.
Yeah.
You know?
I do?
Yeah. No, I have an American accent, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I want to make sure it was... I
was taught by a tutor from London how to speak proper English.
Oh, you're different now.
Yeah, that makes me really have an accent, I guess. I don't know. What was your next question, Catherine?
Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to bodybuilders and athletes, what would it be?
Regarding physical, mental, spiritual, financial, what facet?
Probably physical.
Physical. One piece of advice. Oh my gosh, physical.
That's 7 pieces.
Yeah, I've got 7 pieces to that.
Well, okay. Do you think there's a common denominator?
You have.
You think they lack?
What I would probably say, what I normally say to someone one-on-one is that you've chosen. You've made a choice and you've made a commitment in this physical sport. You know what is expected of you. You know that going in. However, whatever you do, never lose sight of yourself, because around you, you will see many other bodies who are trying to win. So if you keep your eye on your physical, yourself, and know that you are the best, that you're going to bring the best, and that stage belongs to you. It is your show. A lot of times I see athletes that are rising. A lot of times I see and bodybuilders also that I've worked with. they lose their belief system in themselves when they see someone potentially better than them on that day. And the minute they see that person visually, they say, "Oh, okay, I've lost. I'm not going to win this. Look at this guy. Look at this girl." That boom, you have lost.
Yeah.
So one piece of advice is, this is the Catherine Show. I don't care what you guys look like. I have no time for you. You ain't got nothing on me but your eyes. And make it your show. No matter what, no matter across the board, no matter what athlete you are, whatever you're doing, this is your show. You can actually destroy your moment by looking beyond yourself in a show, in bodybuilding, regardless of what, segment of it is. The thing is that don't ever lose sight of yourself. You have done the best you can. This is the best me today. Does not mean I'm not going to get better. It does mean this is my show.
Let me show you how it goes according to me.
Exactly, according to me, regardless. So keep your eyes to yourself. Look at yourself. And only see you.
Forget about who shows up.
Yeah.
I don't care if God shows up.
It's kind of funny because when I asked a guy, a recent champion, he won his region, and who was on stage with you? I don't know. I don't know. And that's the mentality you have to have. Yeah. I don't even remember. Let me go look at the video. I don't remember I don't even remember who their numbers or nothing. You should never know who is competing against you because it doesn't matter. It's your show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of thing I tell my wife all the time in any show. Don't bother about anybody else because she is such a good athlete. And I'm not just saying that. Her results speak for herself. She's a multi-title champion and she's really good at what she does. She's got a good stage presence. And I'm always telling her, just concentrate yourself and everything will look after itself. It doesn't matter what other people look like. It's what we look like on the day, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. That's probably what I would. That is what I tell the athletes that you work with. Is just keep your eyes on yourself, because you can ruin yourself. And let me tell you, if you even believe for a second that there's somebody better backstage than you, everyone will see it on stage on you.
Yeah, exactly.
They will see it on you.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing matters but you, but keep your eyes on yourself. Let's see, here's the next question. What is your opinion, Cha and Tom, on the different lady classes in bodybuilding? What class do you compete in, Catherine?
I compete in the trained figure class.
The figure, okay? Yeah. For example, do you think bikini has a place in bodybuilding or that the ladies... Oh, I want to answer this first, and then you can, okay?
Okay.
All right. I think bikini is putting more butts in the seat.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay? They have to have it. They have to make money. If they can't make money, there will be no show for physique or figure.
Yeah.
So bodybuilding is needed. They had to do something because basically the sport was going into the grave. They had to do something. They had to put men's physique. I'll never get over the board shorts, but that's just me. You know what I mean? There's some things that they have to cater to all walks of life now, because that's where the sport, where football, you've got maybe 60% of the population love football, maybe 40% love soccer, maybe, and it's huge. But in bodybuilding, the percentile was going down as far as audience. So to put butts in the seat, do I think it has a place? As far as making money, yeah, it does. And that's all. I think that's all it was designed to do, and it's worked. Okay, it's proven. Do I think that should be part of bodybuilding? You know how they have a guy that comes on and they do the warm up for the star that's about to come on?
Yeah.
That's what bikini should be.
Yeah.
Just a little tickler, like a part of the entertainment, rather than part of the actual federation. I think they should be the entertainment separated from bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is not about whether you are young and look awesome in a bikini. Bodybuilding is actually work. Hard work. Now, not to discount some of the bikini competitors. I don't want to do that either, because some people have come from really a bad place and have taken themselves into to a point to where they can actually be half naked on stage comfortably. That's a lot of change in mentality and strength. I can't discount that either. But as far as being part of the ultimate bodybuilding, the classic bodybuilding, I'm not sure if it should be there or not. What is your take, Tom?
What should be there in a classic bodybuilding?
Bikini in play.
Okay.
Bikini and bodybuilding competitions.
Well, I come from a time when women were not in the gym. When I first went to Gold's Gym the very first day in Venice, California, they had no women's ladies' rooms. It was all about a bunch of guys and 3 or 4 girls. We had 15 guys in the gym and 2 or 3 girls, and that was it. And when the girls wanted to use the bathroom, all the guys said, "Okay, fine, we won't. This is yours now." And it was very simple, but it was very rare to have a girl that came in the gym. Mm-hmm. And back then, if a woman or a girl hit a bicep shot, it didn't quite register. It was sort of a masculine thing, It's like it's hard to put in even us, because we grew up in the business, and still when a girl hits a double bicep shot, I'm like, still, it's almost like a guy thing. It's like a guy doing a curtsy, However, I don't mean to say I don't appreciate it. I love it. I think it's a wonderful activity for any woman, and it's so great to see women in the gym getting in phenomenal shape. And I think it's a wonderful thing. There's no reason why a woman could and shouldn't.
But do you think it should be in the federation as a competition?
Yeah, I think it should. I think it brings a different kind of class and distinction and quality to bodybuilding. Women's, all of the women's classes, I think, a woman's body that's in shape.
We're just talking about bikini.
Bikini, okay. Bikini, I think it should be. I think bikini is a level of bodybuilding that should be identified. I do. Now, part of this question gets into I think it's too extreme as far as ladies bodybuilding. I mean, I think Iris Kyle is done. I mean, she has the best back in the men's Olympia. I often think, that's not really truthful, but she's so outstanding and so much muscle, and I compliment her when I said that one time. But in my back of my mind, it's like, wow, I think it's too far. I think that she has so many masculine traits. She's still a woman. She's still female, and she acts like a girl. I see it. I get it.
You're talking about
Iris, but I went to different to bodybuilding classes too extreme, but I'm concerned about it, and I think it's hard for the general public to identify with it and get behind it. The general public identifies with bikini. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, I think keeping the female in place is because I don't recognize a lot of the people that I know in the industry. I don't recognize them straight out because they've done some alterations that have made them easily recognizable by us.
See, we grew up with Linda Murray and Corey Everson and Rachel McLeish. These are all friends of ours.
Exactly, Sharon Bernal.
Yeah, Sharon Bernal.
It's just this is. But today, I don't even know who's winning because it's kind of distorted. I think a little bit.
Let me say this. I think anything too extreme. I'll repeat this. Anything too extreme is counterproductive.
Right.
If you train too much, you get hurt and you get smaller. If you eat too much, you get fat. When bodybuilding now is getting to the point where as an analogy, we all used to be into hot rods and compared to bodybuilding. Now it's about funny cars. We appreciate funny cars, but we want to go back to hot rods because that's why we got into the business in the first place.
Right.
So all due respect to Iris and Phil and Kai Green and everybody, they certainly have taken it to a new level. I think Dorian opened the door to the new level. But I want to go back to hot rods, okay, and the basic beauty.
What do you guys think? Do you think bikini belongs? I mean, you're the current, okay? What are your thoughts on bikini?
You can disagree with us, okay? You can disagree with me.
No, I agree. Like you say, it's a money maker. But to me, 9 girls out of 10 can just put a bikini on and go in the bikini class. That's,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I'm saying there's no work involved.
Oh, I see. I see.
Some girls are just really, like, I looked awesome in a bikini when I was younger. I could go on stage and win the show. And I wouldn't have to hit the gym at all because you're born genetically sound.
So maybe the bikini class has a place in
when I
a pageant, beauty pageant versus bodybuilding.
When I posted that picture of myself in a bathing suit that was taken by that German guy, and I was on the beach in Venice, that I hadn't been hitting the gym at all. I was off the gym for like 4 or 5 months, and I looked like that because you have genetics.
I see.
So you don't really have to work as hard. Like in physique and figure, they have to really think about diet, and they have to think about training, and they have to really work for it. But you can be born with great genes, put on a bikini, and look awesome. Yeah, and
be like play around the
because
gym for a couple of weeks.
There is probably no muscle rules for say everything's a downplay way. If you look hot in a bikini, you can win the class, and that's why I don't really think it belongs.
I see. I wasn't even considering that. That's a really good point.
No, I mean, think about it, though.
Is this almost like...
Because I could put on... Like, me and my girlfriends all could put on a bikini, and we were hot. And we didn't have to hit the gym. My girlfriends never went to the gym. And they all looked... Myra never saw a gym in her life. And she looked hot. She was Cajun. She had good genetics. She put on a bikini. Guys would just fall apart.
From that standpoint, it's really... doesn't make sense to have it in bodybuilding.
No, I'm saying that I think it should be in a fitness show, but it should be the entertainment.
I see what you're saying. Sort of like...
Rather than part of the actual federation of gaining some sort of notoriety and winning a trophy and things like that. It's, to me...
Okay.
I think it's just not... I don't think it's dedicated or devoted enough.
I'm following. Now I'm following, and I have to agree. I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Is that the way you feel, Catherine?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
I think maybe they should be on a separate day.
Exactly. Or
and the physique, men's physique.
Or even part of just the entertainment section of the federation. You know how they bring dancers and stuff in between intermissions and stuff? I think it's a good fit there, but trust me, I had 6 girlfriends, and we were called the Deadly 7. We were almost called the 7 deadly sins, to be honest. We all looked hot in a bikini, and I was the only one that went to the gym at all. And the rest of them, they just looked hot without going to the gym. And, it's work. So physique and figure, they have to work at it.
I see.
They have to work at it. So, no, I don't, to me, that's just my opinion, though.
So when I went to Mauritius Island for the bodybuilding event, off the coast of South Africa, a little French island, they had the contortionist on first.
Yeah,
and then I guess so. In other words, this should be the contortionist.
Exactly. This should be like the opening act to the stars, to me.
Did you learn any moves off the contortionist, Tom?
I was like, wow. I was flexible, but I thought, I always believe you should be flexible in certain, related positions to bodybuilding, strong in a flexed position or stretched position, but that to me is extreme. Again, anything to extreme is counterproductive.
Sometimes I can put Tom in a knot because he is flexible. He can do the splits and all that stuff. So I put him in the knot and put him in his bathroom and close the doors sometimes because he gets a little out of line a lot of times, but sometimes when he pushes too far, which was like 8 hours of pushing, then I'll put him in a knot in the bathroom. How did you two meet, by the way? And how long? You're married, I'm assuming. And how long? Yeah. How long you been married? How did you two meet? And
we met in the gym.
I knew you were going to say that.
Go figure.
How long have we been married?
Oh.
Well, it feels like a lifetime, but
it's a nightmare.
I think we've been married for 5 years. We've been together 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations. Absolutely. Where did you guys meet in? I'm assuming England, but you met in a gym.
Yeah.
You should get that T-shirt that said, you know, my first date was in the gym. Yeah.
You never saw that teacher.
We was training at the same gym, and I was training two of my friends. They needed help, and so I wrote them a nutrition plan and diet plan and what have you. And I was training for a few months anyway. These two guys were Muslims, and it was Ramadan, so they had to sleep a lot of the day, and then the food timings was all out till this and that. So I said, well, listen, you guys, I've taught you what you need to know. Just crack on with it. And I said, I'm going to help Catherine. She's asked me if I can help her for a little bit. So I said, well, I'll help you. So I helped her for a bit, and she asked me out on a date. I said, no, I'm just helping you.
No.
From there, you know.
Uh-huh.
Catherine, when you were asking him for help, did you have ulterior motives?
I didn't ask him for help. I said, if you want to train with me, I'll show you how to train properly.
She had to train as hard than my two friends. I used to remind them of that. I said, you should be ashamed. I'm working harder than you.
I'm curious, though, who did the first spark of interest?
I think it was her. It was.
I'm going to ask Catherine now. Who do you think
I see
sparked?
how it was, because I used to wear really scruffy clothes. When I go to gym, I don't care what I wear. I'm there to train. It
Yeah.
means nothing to me what I wear. I don't care.
What?
I'm there to train, right?
I always wear old
She
sweats.
told me tight tops to entice me, and I said, listen, we're here to train. They're not going to sweat.
Tyson.
Yeah, it's like back the old days. Girls were distractions in the gym. You know? It was a gym. It was a men's sanctuary back in the 70s.
Hold up, guys. Catherine, who sent the first spark in your relationship? Catherine?
It must have been you. I was very much a gentleman, and
No.
you dropped in my mind. I think it was. I don't know.
Well, I'll let him think it was me. It was.
That's a good answer. Wow.
But I'd like to know your answer.
I can't remember.
Well, your next question was, how did we meet? And we did start on that at the last episode. So, how Tom and I met. Tom was extremely aggressive, and I'm not. You were. And I'm very, very reserved. I'm very slow moving in relationships. And, you know, I was 48 years old at the time. And so I really wasn't interested in men. I was really pursuing my dream in becoming the best healer I could be to really guide others, because I come from a place that required a great deal of healing. But Tom was extremely aggressive, and I
can't believe you say that.
You know, it's true. It's true, and you know it, Platz. And it's like we met originally in 1984.
Yeah, that's true.
And my hair was very, very long, and he was into blondes. Okay,
Yeah,
he was a blonde.
Blonde beach bunny.
He wanted a blonde beach bunny and all that stuff. And I looked like Cousin It, because my hair was very, very long. Cousin It is that little...
You know the Addams Family?
The Addams Family, the show. Yeah, I look just like Cousin It, because I had so much hair, and I still have so much hair. But it's like all the way down to the floor, and we were at World Gym.
We were at World Gym, and I wanted to use a bench. I was doing arms. I was supersetting biceps and triceps.
Exactly. He was bogarting the whole gym for arm day.
He wanted to use that gym. I said, no, you can't use that bench. It's mine.
You know, he's just like... and he was, and I that's how I got to know Arnold and Louis. I got to know them before I did Tom. Actually, I had no idea why he was this huge, ginormous piece of muscle, and he looked like a troll doll to me. And I just like, you know, wasn't something. I wasn't into blondes. I was into dark men, and so it's like for me. the meeting the first time was all I remembered him just like basically taking the bench away, and he was using like 3 different benches at the same time.
But, when I was leaving that day, I was leaving the gym, and I always had a gym car. And I would scrape this gym. It was an old beat-up beater car, and I scraped it against the wall. And I didn't know you saw me.
I used to watch him. I would be going to my car, and he would hit every single pillar, a cement pillar, under the garage. And I thought, this guy's a complete maniac. I mean, he has no brain.
I did it on purpose. I wanted to see what it would feel like.
The impact. So, 14 years later, we met at a university. He was teaching a class I needed for CEUs as a doctor. And it's an exercise physiology class, and I just needed the CEU, so I had to go and spend the weekend and then take a final exam to gain the CEUs. And I didn't get enough information from the institution of what part of the campus to go, blah, blah, blah. And so they said, well, Tom Platz is teaching the class. And I said, that name sounds familiar. But it didn't really register at all. And then he's staying at the same hotel as you. So I called the front desk to be transferred to his room. And when he answered the phone, he sounded like a total drunk. He sounded, hello. It was just like, are you kidding me? This guy's going to teach me exercise. Oh, this is going to be good. And so I said, excuse me, I'm a student that's taking your exercise physiology class. I just don't know what part of the campus to go to. He says, meet me in the lobby tomorrow morning at a certain time. And I have a guy coming to pick me up, to drive me, and you can ride with us. And I said, that's okay. I have my own car, and I'll follow you.
And you are still 4'10".
Yeah.
And I thought you were cute.
And, he introduced himself. Hi, I'm Tom Platz. I put my hand out to shake his hand. He takes my hand, and he pulls me to him, and he kisses me on the cheek.
and Cha said, do you kiss all your students?
And my other hand was in a fist form, and I was going to level the guy. No, I'm serious. I said, how dare you touch me like this? You have no... And I'm thinking in my head, if this guy thinks this is going to be a professor-student weekend sling, no way. And he did not appeal to me at all. Not at all. And when he kissed me, I just about leveled him right there in the hotel lobby.
But I was sick.
But he was very, very, very sick. And the reason he sounded so drunk, this is what bodybuilders do. He got some NyQuil because he had the flu and nobody knew it. He drank the whole bottle of NyQuil so he could get good sleep. Not just a tablespoon like the directions. He drank the whole bottle. The whole bottle. And that's why he sounded drunk. But the next day I could tell and sense that he wasn't feeling very good. Mm-hmm. And so we met Boulder, Colorado, University of Colorado, and I actually, Doc Crease asked me to come and work with the Buffaloes at the time.
Doc Crease was the head
yeah, he was a head speed strength and conditioning coach at the time. Mm-hmm. But Tom was very aggressive. I was kind of shocked because that was not where my mind was. So I would have to say, Tom Platz, you threw the first spark. I had no idea who he was. I've been in the gym since 1969. I learned on a dirt garage floor. I learned to squat. It was the first exercise I learned. And I just happened to be a good squatter. And, but I really didn't know anything about Tom when I met him.
See, I thought you were the aggressor. I thought that you called me more than once about the results of the exam.
You keep, you're such a liar. You got to stop lying to the public.
Yeah, but see, I'm from LA. You kiss everybody,
No, but I'm from Hawaii. We don't kiss everyone, okay? But
Cha's the intellectual in the family, and I'm just the jock. Okay, I'm the athlete, and she thinks things through extremely. I mean, by the time I express my opinion, she's already thought it. Every single way, and she has, I have to think about, wow, why is that right? And so I don't disagree right away like I usually would and have done. I wait to come to that place in my mind where I go, God, she thought this through already. She's right. And it amazes me. But she's the complete opposite of me in a lot of ways.
Well, I think what's really, really great is that to be able to interact with people that you see a lot in Facebook. And Facebook, I'm a kind of like, I observe a lot of people. And some things I just have to turn off the feature of follow because sometimes people get a little bit too out there. But it was amazing that I get to see bits and pieces of YouTube in Facebook and this little cute interaction that we have, and I think that's a good platform. And that's why we built the Platzinum.com, is that we have that cute little interaction there where people can actually interact with each other.
Everything that I'm not good at, Cha is good at. I have to tell you that for sure. Seriously.
You're talking about like the iMac alone?
Yeah, iMac, computer technology.
Okay.
She's an IT person. She can build websites. She can do coding. I'm like, for sure.
Sure.
I can turn it on usually and go to Facebook.
Oh, when his iMac won't go on, and I walk over there, and he goes, it won't come on, and I have to come out of my playroom, walk over there, turn the power tray on, push the button,
not that bad.
push the button, and then it comes on.
Well, Cha's building. It's not that bad.
It is too. It is too. It won't come on.
God.
It won't. I mean, he's like beating it up, and I said, "Stop muscling things." Okay. When I ask him to open a jar of something, I said, "Don't break the jar," and snap, the jar's head comes off.
It happened a long time ago.
Well, you can't muscle things. You have to be gentle.
Remember, I used to use this deodorant years ago. Remember, what do you call it, right guard?
Oh God!
And I put my thumb through the plastic thing on the top.
He pushed it.
I was like, oh my God.
He pushed it so hard, and right guard went everywhere in the bathroom. I mean, on the walls, And I said, "Why did you break the nozzle?" He goes, "I was just pressing it."
Just wanted to see if it was strong. Yeah.
So, basically, your last question was, as a couple or individuals, what legacy would you like to leave behind? If I could be spoken in one light, in one word, that I made someone laugh. If I could just make you laugh, then I feel like a complete pro and successful. I think laughter is the key to all ailments and very essential for reaching all goals in life. So if I can make you laugh, I've done my job. What about you, Tom?
I like what you said.
No.
I guess what I'd like to be remembered for in terms of a legacy, I would like people to go, here's a guy that came from the old neighborhood, didn't have a lot, didn't even have talent, really didn't have genetic talent for bodybuilding or for really anything, but he was so convinced that he could do it, and he believed in himself so much that he convinced the rest of the bodybuilding community that he was this guy. And I think for me, that tenacity and belief system, believing in yourself, and no matter what, pulling it off to a certain degree is what I like to be remembered for, because that's what I think about every day. Because every day there's 5 more reps, like learning computer technology and handling a bunch of systems and multitasking is my 5 reps every day. And I do it because I believe I can, and somehow I pull it off. But I guess, I want to be remembered as the guy who wasn't the best, but became one of the best because of his attitude. And I believe everybody has this gift. And if they just would realize it, they could do anything you want to do. I think anything is possible if you believe in yourself and you want it bad enough. I talked to people in England a lot on the tour when we were there recently with Ed Corney. And some of the guys who were very good said to me, my goal one day is just to set foot on an Olympia stage and just to be there. I said, that's not enough. You got to go over there and win. You got to be the best. You got to motivate an audience and put them on their feet. You know?
Yeah, you body slammed that guy that said that.
You know?
This guy was so great. He goes, if I could just step on stage on the Olympia stage, I would be so happy. That's all I want. And then Tom got right in his face and says, are you kidding me? You got to want to win that show.
You're better than that. You're better than that.
And you scared him to death.
I mean, and I think, like we talked about, Catherine, when you get on stage, you show them how it goes. Humbly and professionally. Thank you, judges, for having me at this contest. Thank you, audience. But let me show you how it goes. This is the way posing goes. And
that applies to male and female competitors.
Yeah.
That's not just for the guys to have
No.
It's not arrogance.
I learned how to pose and how to perform
confidence.
from watching the girls.
Exactly.
The girls taught me how to pose. It wasn't the guys.
Right.
Okay. Corey and Linda and Rachel and a lot of girls from the old days.
What do you two want to leave behind?
Well, I just want to really, as long as people remember me as a good person who's tried to help them, not just myself, being a loving, kind person, which I think I am, and I'll always help anybody as long as they're willing to listen and take on any advice. Because I believe my time is very valuable. Because once you've given your time, you just can't get it back.
Yeah.
So, as long as people appreciate that time that you're giving them, then it's all good, really,
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Catherine? What do you want to leave behind?
Yeah, the same. Just so people thought, she was a nice person. She made me laugh. She always had time for people. And I think competing-wise, is that I was a good athlete in whatever I chose to do. Whether I used to swim, I used to run. In bodybuilding, I've done 2 different categories and been successful in both. So,
Congratulations.
Really.
Yeah, congratulations. Absolutely. How do you guys know us?
Well, obviously, Tom firstly,
Pumping iron.
when I first got into bodybuilding, I've just turned 50.
Oh, wow.
And I was about 23 when I first started training, because I was more into obviously football. I love my football, and then I broke up this girl once, and I'm feeling all miserable about myself. And my mate said to me, listen, why don't you come to the gym? And I said, I don't want to lift any weights. Anyway, I went with him, and it nearly killed me. It was horrendous. I was so sore for days on end. Anyway, I did get to like it, and I just like the feel of the weights and the feeling it gave you. And it went on from there, so I've been training ever since. Now, I forgot what was the question.
No.
How do you know us? Yeah.
How do we know you? So obviously, I started watching Pumping Iron, and that was a massive. That video of Pumping Iron and all the characters in that was a massive inspiration to people worldwide. And there's so many people talk about Pumping Iron in this country, and it's one of those films that you can continuously watch over and over because it's so good and inspiring, And that's what got me really going into it. And then when you used to watch that, you used to think, I want to go to the gym and smash some weights now and pump my chest up or smash my legs. It was just great to see bodybuilders back in the day, the way they looked. And it was almost like a Hollywood lifestyle that they had, even though I dare say they didn't, but it looked like it, It just looked like they was having fun, all this camaraderie going on in the gym, then they're going for something to eat, then they're hitting the beach, getting the tans and all that, and you thought, God, I want to do that. And that's basically what it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow. I remember you two. One year you were talking about onesies.
Yeah.
Yes, we mentioned this tonight. Yes.
And you remember that we wore onesies when we were handing out sandwiches to the homeless on New Year's Day that year.
2014, I think, was it?
Exactly.
Wow.
It was 2 years ago. 2 Christmases ago. And I remember you're the couple that told me about the onesies. They're the ones that told me about the onesies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they had some photos on it, and I said, oh, I gotta have those. What are those? Where are they?
Oh, yeah, you showed me the photos.
I know, yeah.
You guys look good.
Yeah. I actually looked. Tom got a golden dragon because we couldn't find a golden eagle. And I'm Scrimp, Stitch and Lilo's doll, the little doll that Lilo made. Yeah. And so we had our sandwiches in onesies because of you guys.
Yeah, I remember it well. It was fun, that. Because I remember you uploaded the pictures, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes,
was it on the beach?
Yes, we go to Venice Beach to give out the food. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do that every Christmas. A lot of people don't know that because it's not something that we do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we went to Gold's Gym in our onesies.
Yeah. New squad outfit.
Except in a new trend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
it's a new trend.
Everybody will start doing it.
So look at Platz, he's going nuts.
Well, it's to us, it's just really an honor to get to speak to people that you read about or just read from. And I think that's what we're trying to do with these reality shows, is to get voice to people that have been interacting in text. And do you feel that the way bodybuilding has gone, the sport that you love and have really been excited about for such a long time? We're talking about decades here, among all of us, probably 100 years. Is there anything, if you had the power, what would you change, if anything?
Well, for me personally, with the men's bodybuilding, the pro scenes at the minute, I liked, for me, yeah, you do want to see big guys. I'm talking really big guys. Of course I do. But I want that tiny waist. I want the big flaring legs going out.
Yeah.
But the waist and big wide shoulders. I don't want a big extended stomach. I don't want to see that. And even when these guys are relaxing, it's like they're pregnant. That's not good.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want nice tight midsections, nicely pulled in all the time, even when relaxed. Beautiful symmetrical physiques that you know and you think, wow, look at that guy, he looks unbelievable. I want to see the wow factor in loads of athletes, not just one or two. At the pro scene, there's a lot of guys who have the ability to look like that, but they just don't. And for me, I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go with it. Are they going to get bigger and bigger and bigger? Totally exploiting their genetic potential. I don't know. But even if they exploit the genetic potential, is it going to be any better? I don't think it is.
Yeah, I see. What do you think, Catherine? What would you like to see if you had the power? What in the women's divisions? What would you change, if anything?
I would get rid of bikini.
I knew you were going to say that. I almost said it.
I would say not change anything in the divisions, but I'd like to see it become more sociably acceptable for women. Because a lot of women get criticised. I mean, even some of the bikini girls get criticised on how they look, and they look like men, and it's not nice to look at. So
I think that's more narrow-minded people, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Tom, if you had the power, what would you change in today's men's bodybuilding?
Well, I think I would say exactly what Martin said for sure. But I would want to probably get rid of all the spray tanning, and I'll get rid of all the suntan beds. Back when you relate to this, Martin, back when I first came out to California, I wanted to study with the masters, and the gym was the gym, but then we all went to the beach right after the gym. It was part of the gym. because, and there was a reason they have the Olympia in September each year, because we would all lay out in the sun for 3 months every day to get tanned up and to look like we're from the beach. And like clockwork, we'd go to the beach right after the gym, lay on this front side for an hour, go in the ocean, and the tight water, the salt water in the ocean would tighten your skin up, and you would look like you're from California, no matter where you're from, and it would make your skin glow, and you looked healthy. And, of course, at the time, we're working on keeping our waist tight and your waist small, but the quality of the skin was very important. And so when I first came out, it was about the lifestyle, the camaraderie, the gym and the beach, and it was all unified. And, we were all friends, we were all competing against each other, but there was a general sense of health and well-being, and it wasn't about, who could take the most gear and who could get the darkest. And it just seems like now everybody's all hairy and white until the night before the show they shave their legs for the first time in months or years, and they get spray tanned with this sprayer like a car wash, and they're ready to go. I'm like, something's missing. Something's missing. I mean, working on your tan all summer long. I'd lay in the sun 3 hours a day, every day. And if there wasn't sun at the beach and it was a cloudy day, we'd go to the mountains in Santa Monica, or we'd go out to Pasadena. We'd chase the sun. Okay, it was a pure time. The spirit was thick. We were all like anointed zombies, coming out to California. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about, really, it was just the camaraderie. We all wanted to train together. We didn't know each other, but after the first day, we were all best buddies, And I miss those times when it was about that.
About camaraderie and
the love of the game.
I think what I miss is hair.
The hair. Everybody had hair back then.
Nobody has hair on their head that's on stage.
I think Martin's bald, by the way.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that on stage...
Looks good though, Martin.
on stage, some people look really great without hair, but on stage, I don't know. I think about just the different Greek statues and things like that, where hair really just, I don't know. I'm constantly saying, where is all the hair going? Well, why is everyone on stage bald?
If shaving your head makes you look better in bodybuilding competition, how come the girls don't shave their heads?
Yeah, I know.
Fair point, Tom. I mean, fair's fair, it goes both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that it's just the hair is gone. And a lot of people say, I lost my hair, and they're like in their 20s. I'm going, excuse me? How do you lose your hair in the 20s?
I mean, I was known as the Golden Eagle because my hair was golden blonde, And I used to do a posing shot called the hair shot, where I put my hair back.
Nobody can do that shot anymore.
This girl named Stacy Bentley, an early female bodybuilder. She taught me. She goes, "I like that thing you do with your hair." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then she showed me. I go, if I slowed it down and played it up, and I mean, it was about going on stage, and really. The gym was the gym, and it was about developing the muscle, but the stage was a time, we loved the stage as much as we loved the gym. Nowadays, most bodybuilders walk on stage showing the pain of the gym, and they don't necessarily like the stage.
The other thing I've noticed is the faces. Everyone looks like oysters on a half shell.
Oysters on a half shell, yeah.
I mean, everybody looks depleted and worn out and tired, and the smile never reaches their eyes. And if you look at the pictures back in the day when Tom was competing, everyone looked handsome and beautiful in the face. And today you don't see that. Everybody looks hard and rode hard and put up wet.
Yeah, like they're really hurt.
They're hurting, yeah. And I don't know what's causing that.
We even, in 1976, 1977, and 1978, I believe, we had the Mr. America contest. We actually had the interview. They wanted to know how we would. One of the rounds was actually speaking to the guys. Okay, we'll stop. But I want you to know the interview was important. Okay?
Yeah, it's important. Maybe in the next episode we can go into that. Guys, it is so wonderful to have you. Thank you so much for accepting this.
Our pleasure.
For having us.
Thank you both.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Mark.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
It was great.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.